Okay, hi Pramod, very welcome to Nalsa University, the Center for Management Studies. You are the first guest of CMS to appear in the series called Just Business. It's a series essentially wherein we want to interact with business leaders and learn a lot more about businesses which probably books do not teach us. I recall there was a brilliant book by somebody called What They Do Not Teach at Harvard. We believe that we should not shy away from saying that what we do not teach at CMS we would want to learn from you. Just in that scheme of things, I just had a couple of questions for you, just to information and. So tell us a little bit about you, Pramod. How has been your journey?
Sure. Yeah. So firstly, I just want to say that it's a very distinct privilege for me to be here. I love coming to your campus. Somehow the ambience that you have created here is beautiful. There's something attractive about it that causes us to keep coming back. It's also a privilege to be in your Just Business series. I think that's really good. About myself, I've had close to 2.5 decades of experience, primarily in HR. And it's only very incidentally in the last few months that I've moved beyond a HR role, closer to the business in HSBC. But I've been in various different sectors, mainly with the Tata Group and mainly with TCS. That has been the crux of my career. And as I said, mainly with HR. The last 8 years or so gravitated towards leadership development and learning and development. And that's what brings me here to campuses like yours, which is a pleasure being here.
Okay. Pramod, a lot of things have been said about leadership. Leaders can make a break or a business. And we have already seen what happens when leaders at times have short-term goals and visions, like Volkswagen. We've just seen the very recent example of a company, brilliant company. I mean, it's American, a German engineering in Volkswagen, one of the biggest names, but something went amiss.
Yes.
How important do you think are today's base learnings in leadership skills?
Okay. So that's a very interesting question, especially the last bit of your question where you said base learning in leadership skills, which immediately brings to my mind a book which says, whatever I learned to know, I learned in kindergarten, Robert Fulghum. And that book essentially talks about, we learn something very primary in the earliest part of our lives, in kindergarten or probably even before that. And if I look to see what is it that we learn the earliest in life, I think it's values. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the values that need to carry us a long way. Now, if leadership is tied to values, somehow you think more long term. Short-term vision is more tied to lack of values because a lot of shortcuts are associated with short-term. And long-term is associated with the sustainability, is associated with more holistic outlook. And organizations that suffer due to short-term vision, short-term phobia are normally because they've fallen short also on their values. So coming back to leadership, I think I like what John Maxwell defines. He boils it all down to one word, and he says it's influence. And when I try to expand the word influence in leadership, for me, it talks about influence in every aspect of life around you, not just for your immediate team or your immediate organization, your stakeholders, but to society at large. And I think that's a very holistic vision. The last thing that I want to say about leadership, and there's so much you can talk about it, is leadership is more about giving than about getting. So I think when you arrive into a position of leadership, and by the way, position is the wrong word because leadership is not about a position. You can lead wherever you are in the organization. You're supposed to have leadership in you. But when you are demonstrating leadership, what it essentially says is how much of an influence do you have to the world around you. And I think that's the essence of leadership.
So There has been many examples of brilliant leaders, of extremely silent leaders. But I recall, I think it was a Harvard research in a survey, which said in tough times, companies bring in leaders. When the times are over, leaders are asked to leave. Why do you think that happens?
That immediate situation, I mean, what you described, is because of a phenomenon that they see that they have become, believe it or not, they become specialist CEOs.
Mm-hmm.
The CEOs who are specialists for turnarounds, the CEOs who are specialists for sailing, the CEOs who are specialists for different phases of an organization's growth. And then you see that the CEOs who were hired for a certain purpose sometimes outlive their purpose after the turnaround has happened or the merger has happened or various particular situations have happened. I'm not sure whether that's a good trend or not. We haven't seen much of that in India. We've seen that more in the multinational space. But it's a trend that is increasingly happening now. So you're very right about that.
So what would you think, how do B schools actually contribute towards, a making of a proper manager? What is a proper manager to you? And how would you define a proper manager?
Okay, so we've been talking about leadership, and when we talk about manager, I'd rather prefer the former word, leader.
Yeah.
So a manager for me is one who manages things well, And so the definition for me of a manager would be one who does things right, effectively does things right. But a leader, of course, is one who does the right things. So that for me is the primary difference between a manager and a leader. And yes, so we do look up a lot to the business schools of nowadays. I think that's one good thing that is happening. Business schools are getting more and more closer to the business. They're living up to their name. I've seen, and I'm a live example of someone who's sitting in a campus. I've seen that what Peter Senge talked about years and years ago, that business schools are beginning to resemble corporates beginning to resemble business schools. That trend has actually come to fruition now. I must commend you to say that business schools have actually brought in the industry very strongly into its curriculum. I've seen that the curriculum has become more and more practical. I'm sitting here at this moment talking to you when the students have a load of assignments to do. The deadline seems to be Monday and it's Friday evening today. And then they have exams on Monday. And yet they have, and I genuinely see they have an appetite to interact with the business, which means they're looking beyond the rigmarole of examinations and assignments, and they're looking much beyond that. So coming back to what I said, I want to commend you in particular for what you're doing at CMS and business schools in general for getting it right in inviting the industry over. Sadly, the reverse trend is not happening so much as it should, that industry is forcing their way into sponsoring activities in the business school. Should be there too. It should be a two-way traffic. But right now it's more of a pull. But anyway, it's happening, and I'm very glad it's happening. And I think B schools are doing it well. The one profession, one sector of the education, which are getting more and more closer to the business, and it's the MBA schools.
Thank you very much for your good words. We have actually been trying to do a lot of things imbibed from the industry. I mean, we interact a lot with industry leaders, of course, to give us insights into what the industry requires, and then of course we try and include that in our curriculum. But it has also been seen that from the student's perspective, the focus is way more on the practicalities of learning, and that probably drives them a little bit away from the foundational learnings of theories. How do you see that? I mean, is that a good trend or an average trend, okay trend? How should it be? What should be the right mix?
That again is an interesting question. So in one word, I would say balance is the need of the hour. So you can't divorce yourself entirely from theory. It's very important. It's great that you're having a lot of practical knowledge, practical sessions like these. And it's great that the students have an appetite for that. But if you tell me, as you just did, that they're leaning more towards this than the other side of it, then it is a cause for worry. Because what we need in the business is not just whatever works. So when the Indian business scenario is known as contributed one additional word of late to the business lexicon of the world, and that's the word jugaad. You know,
Jugaad
and
is very
jugaad has become popular all over
Yeah.
the world. We hear people saying, "Oh, you're from India, you're the guys of jugaad." So jugaad has a good side and a bad side to it. The good side is it's extremely practical and it's down to earth and it's whatever works for the moment. Jugaad, the image of jugaad is you don't have a proper plug point, and so you chew off the wires and you make it work.
Make it work.
That is the image of jugaad. But the not so good part of jugaad is when you divorce yourself from the discipline of actually keeping abreast of the academia, keeping abreast of the intellectual side of business. Having an overview of that is very important. So I would say to you, students especially, have your feet firmly planted on both worlds, the world of the practical business and the world of academia. We need more of the academia into business. We need to know, we need to have the discipline of analysis, the discipline of theory, the discipline of bringing the right practices into place. And for that, we look forward to fresh thinking from the students who come straight out of the business schools. So don't deny yourself of that advantage you have. Because it's been years since we've been in the classroom from the business. And we want you to provide that fresh wind of theory into our lives. And so keep that advantage, hold those aces with you. Don't let them slip away from you.
The other thing which has probably come across very strong